All right. Super Bowl. Oh, it's finally here. I am really excited about this game because I think it's two really good teams going at it. I'm excited. I don't know how it's gonna go. I have a feeling. I have
Really?
two thoughts in my head about how it's gonna go. I don't know. Let's start. Pam, what do you think about how the Super Bowl is gonna go?
Okay, well, I have to just throw it out there. My extended family is all from Philadelphia. I have Eagles fans in my blood, and I'm rooting hard for the Eagles. And I'm sick to
Okay.
death of Kansas City. So I'm
Yeah.
perfectly happy. In fact, I tried to find my t-shirt. I have a championship t-shirt from, was it 2018, from the Eagles, and I tried to find it, but I can't find it. So I just wore green. So
So you think
big
that you
time.
do you think the Eagles are gonna do you think the Eagles are gonna win, like, you think it's gonna be close, or you think they're gonna win in a blowout?
I think it's going to be closer than some of my darling, wonderful cousins believe. I do believe it's going to be closer. Yeah. I think they're going to win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew, what do you think?
On paper, the Eagles are the better football team. They're the more complete football team. They're more well-rounded, but love it or hate it or feel indifferent about it, you can't put anything past Patrick Mahomes. Has a magic. Like, he's got that. He's able to. I didn't think they were going to get past the AFC Championship game. He's playing on half an ankle, and like, there was no reason that they should have won that game. But lo and behold, we're sitting here talking about Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl.
Luck.
So
Luck.
it's better
Andrew
to be
Luck
lucky than
retired.
good. So I'm pulling for the Eagles. I want the Eagles to win this. I think Sirianni's been a great coach this year. I think Jalen Hurts got to prove himself to a lot of people. Just really, really happy to just see that team thrive in the way that they have. That being said, I think I agree with Pam. This is going to be close. This is probably, if both teams play up to their potential, it's going to come down to the last drive. Whoever has the ball last is probably going to determine who wins this game. So
You might be right.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I'm looking at this just purely analytically, the Eagles are a better team. They have a better run game. Jalen Hurts is playing better within the system. They have a more complete defense. They should win this game. That being said, Patrick Mahomes could randomly shovel pass a 70-yard touchdown to Travis Kelce for no reason, because that's a thing that he can do. And so we'll see. I also do enjoy, if you guys don't follow, I recommend looking at the Kelce Brothers podcast, like, back and forth. Like, their stuff this week has been hilarious. So,
I would imagine.
I know,
yeah.
that sounds
Did
like
they
fun.
have mommy Kelsey on?
They're trying to get her to do the coin flip. There's a petition out there for her to do the coin flip, and I so support that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would totally be into that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Right. Darren, what do you think?
I'm with everybody so far. I think it's going to be a close game. We should make it in that instance a good game, right? Because everybody wants to watch a Super Bowl. They don't want to watch 55-10, which for Broncos, sorry Broncos fans, that's the one always sticks in my mind, is 55-10.
I remember that. Yeah.
Man, that was just so hard to watch. But yeah, these are two teams, as Andrew said, I would agree. The Eagles are the better team on paper. The Chiefs, you have Patrick Mahomes. It's almost like those old Broncos teams when they had John Elway. They had a fair defense, not bad, not a great running game. The three amigos for the wide receivers, but Elway made it happen. It's kind of the same thing going into this, is what can Mahomes do? But I really think we're going to see a lot of it come down to this run game. The Eagles do have a superior run game. I think you might see Miles Sanders have the best game. He may be even Super Bowl MVP when this is all done. But remember, the Chiefs also, they do not run a lot of defensive schemes where they keep a lot of guys in the box. They only run that 49% of the time, 68% of the time they run out of too high defense. So, which, can really allow for some big holes. So I can see the Eagles getting out there, putting up some big running yards early. The Chiefs might hamper down on that, load the box in the second half, or whatever they have to do to adjust, but it may be a little bit too late. I think just the ability for the Eagles to hurt you in a couple different ways with a healthy squad is a little bit more than I think what the Chiefs are bringing to the table on Sunday. So I'm agreeing with Pam. I agree with Andrew and everybody else. It's going to be a close game, but I think the Eagles have been favored by 1.5 since like the Monday after Championship Sunday, and it hasn't really changed much at all. Usually we see it flux anywhere between half a point to a point. Is it still 1.5? I believe the Eagles are 1.5 favorites, and I'm going to kind of stick with that. I like the Eagles to win this. I don't think it'll be by a big margin, but like Andrew said, it would not surprise me that they're up by 3 or 4, and here's Mahomes at his own 20, and he finds a way or wills a way for that Kansas City Chiefs team to sneak in the back door and come out with a win. Pam, you said lucky before. I don't know if it's lucky. I think it's a lot of talent, but I mean, yeah, it could be one of those things where it's that close and the Chiefs just snag it away in the end. That's the way I kind of see it to go. My money would be on the Eagles to win this one.
I just have to throw it out there. I remember one of the Penguins Stanley Cups that they got a weird fluky goal against the Rangers. And I remember everybody said, people will call it luck, but that's the team that wins a championship. That's the sports team that wins, whether it's luck or just some crazy inane, intuition to know what to do. Those are the teams that win. They are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So many sports games, but especially NFL games, really come down to they're mostly even, but then they come down to like 5 or 6 plays that go one way or the other. Usually it evens out, but sometimes there's the luck, advantage or whatever. But sometimes you just make your own luck. So, I think this is fascinating. I think this is the way people are talking about the Eagles, like they might be one of the greatest teams of all time. And that's no hyperbole. I mean, they played this perfectly. You say you want you take advantage of when your quarterback is on his rookie contract, so that you're not spending any money on your quarterback, so you can spend it everywhere else. And they just went crazy, and everything worked out for them. And that, I mean, I was looking today about how they completely changed their team. They made the Super Bowl, but remember, they made the Super Bowl. It was Carson Wentz was a quarterback. Then he got hurt. Then Nick Foles came in and was this, this somebody called it like he was like Slumdog Millionaire. It's like what, he just had the greatest game ever or whatever. But they traded Carson Wentz and got a bunch of first round picks. They made all these trades and got all these wonderful draft picks, and they all hit, and they got, they there's this collection of an amazing team that seems unbeatable. So either they are going to steamroll the Chiefs, and I remember that 49ers Broncos 55-10, because somewhere there was a speed limit sign that said 55, speed limit 55, and somebody wrote on underneath Broncos 10.
That's awesome.
That.
I love it.
I love it.
I always remember that Tom Jackson was talking about that, and he was like the only one to pick the Broncos because, of course, he's a former Bronco. But he said, if Dennis Smith and Steve Atwater can just really contain Jerry Rice and John Taylor, I'm like, look, Tom, I think you're a great analyst, but come on, man. I mean, John Taylor and Jerry Rice are not going to be contained. And I think it took I think the 49ers were up 21-0 in that first quarter. So it was.
Yeah. So I think it could be a blowout by the Eagles, but then you have the Chiefs. Mahomes might be the greatest. He might be the next Brady. He's the best. And yeah, he's a little bit hurt, but also Andy Reid is a really good coach. And so is our defensive coordinator, Spagnuolo. I have a feeling. Here's one thing. I don't know. It's about level of difficulty. And I don't know if the Eagles had that high degree of difficulty this year. It seemed like people they played either weren't that good, or maybe maybe it's because of how they played. They made the teams not look that good, but it doesn't look like they were really challenged all year. I don't know. I have this feeling that the Eagles are going to come out to a big lead. They'll be up like 17 or 20 some points into third quarter, and then the Chiefs are going to make this great comeback, and it's going to be close. It's going to end up being like a 3-point game one way or the other.
I think it's when you come in as good as they have. I mean, that's not a bad point. But there's been people drawing comparisons to like the '85 Bears a little bit, not because their defense is that good, but just the way they've come along. Well, that NFC North division that year, the Bucks, the Lions, and the Packers stunk. And you could have said, "Well, the Bears rode an easy ticket." No, the Bears were just that good. At some point, you look at a 15-1 or a 14-2 team or whatever it is, and say, "Yeah, they were kind of lucky." It reminds me of that UNLV team in '90 when they went at I think they had one loss and then they destroyed Duke by like 37 points in the final, which was great. No, UNLV was actually that good. So it comes on Sunday, we're going to know, hey, to what your point is, Joe, hey, did they kind of luck their way into this? Did they play some, semi-easy schedule and kind of get there, or are they just that good? And I think, kind of like Andrew was saying a little bit on paper, I think they're just that good. And the Chiefs are going to need everything Mahomes has to come to make this even a possibility of them pulling out a win.
If the Chiefs lose, will this say anything bad about Mahomes or Andy Reid or? I mean,
not because they won one, right? I mean, if they hadn't won one yet, yeah. Now you're going to get are they the Bills? Are they the Vikings? No, they at least they've won one.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this. I mean, if your coach takes you to 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, I mean, what can you say negative about him? I mean, yeah, you didn't win them all, but I'll take 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
Yeah,
absolutely. And people like to discount. If the Eagles win, they're probably playing better than the Chiefs. It's great to blame the Chiefs or blame the losing team in any situation, but sometimes the other team is just better.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It could be. I will say that the Eagles definitely had the easier path through the playoffs. Playing the Giants and then not even getting to play like a full strength 49ers team that injured Brock Purdy in the first quarter. Like
that was the implosion of all implosions.
Oh man.
God. Well, I mean, you got to give that 49ers team as much credit as you can. I mean, they were on their third string, Mr. Irrelevant like quarterback, and he somehow manages to get hurt in the first quarter. That's just like we talked about luck before on this already on this episode. Like that's just your luck is just terrible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will say the Chiefs had a tougher road to get to this point, going through the AFC the way they did. But I mean, take that for whatever you will. I mean, it could end up not mattering. The Eagles could just be that good. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, and they had to overcome either the Bengals or the Bills or I thought a much higher talented stacked AFC conference than the NFC was. I mean, that 49ers defense is incredible. I don't think it's getting enough respect as how good it was this year, but like you said, Andrew, with losing all that thing, and I mean, they had McCaffrey taking warm-ups for about 5 minutes. Like, are you serious? Eddie McCaffrey's about to quarterback this team, and or Christian McCaffrey, I'm sorry. But so I agree. But like I said, it all comes down to that Sunday, and I just feel like you look at that run game too. The Chiefs' defense has been kind of moving in the wrong direction. They ended up giving up 107 yards a year for the year, and they've given up 3 straight 100-yard rushers going into this game. So they're going to figure out a way to overcome that because they're going to go against a great offensive line with two very talented backs. So that to me is like the biggest thing the Chiefs have to worry about, other than Jalen Hurts, who can also run the ball when he needs to.
I was going to say, and they even got Hurts, and even the third guy, Gainwell, you got to throw him in there. Kenny Gainwell can put together a nice little game when he needs to. Yeah, that's going to be really big. Chris Jones is going to have to show up real big for the Chiefs in this game. And
yeah, he could. He's a destroyer of worlds. He can wreck the whole game himself.
He's going to have to in this game.
He is. He's going to have a Reggie White type of game like he did against the Patriots that won Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean that Eagles offensive line. I mean, I have my own thoughts on Mulata. I think he's mediocre at best, but Jason Kelsey is elite. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Lane Johnson. I don't know how that man is still is playing at the level that he has played at throughout these playoffs. He has a tear in his abdominal muscle. I don't know how he's still blocking the way he is. It's absurd. So.
Ow.
Oh yeah, he has a tear in his
Ow.
abdominal. Like, he has an abdominal tear that he's been blocking like elite pass rushers with for like the last 2-3 weeks. I don't know how he's doing it.
Yeah, you're right. No, it's a good call.
So
That Mulata, was he the rugby player from
He was the
Australia
rugby
or
guy,
something
yeah.
like that? Man.
yeah, he was the rugby guy. I and you can argue with my brother-in-law about this until the cows come home. I've always said he would have been better as a defensive lineman rather than spending all the time they spent on him becoming he's an okay offensive lineman. Like, he's an okay left tackle. He's not elite, but he's okay.
My dad always said the same thing about Carlton Hasselrigg. They should have put him on defense. He was a wrestler. He could have been a better defenseman. Always.
I see his skill set from rugby transferring better to a defensive lineman than I do to an offensive lineman personally. Being a former offensive lineman, I think that would have been an easier transition. But
I wonder when they introduced him to football, he's like, "What are you doing with these pads? Come on, I'll just fight you guys. I don't need pads. I'll just fight over helmets. What is this crap?" Yeah. I just wonder. Yeah, why aren't more wrestlers offensive and defensive linemen? You'd think that would be like a perfect transition. It was like Carlton Hasselrigg, and that's it.
Andrew, shame on me. You probably know this. I know there are 2 former Big Ten wrestlers in this game, one for the Chiefs and one for the Eagles. They're both on the line, and I know they were collegiate wrestlers. So Good point, Joe. That's a good point, and you're right.
I don't know who they are off the top of my head. I'd have to look that up. But you would be correct, Joe. It is a little confusing that collegiate wrestling doesn't like transfer, but I just feel like you're getting to such like an elite level of skill at even the collegiate level to transition into the pros is very, very rare.
Not that collegiate wrestling has anything to do with professional wrestling, but The Rock was
Florida State.
He was, I believe, a defensive tackle or defensive end or something
Miami.
like that.
Oh no!
Oh, that's right, Miami? University of Miami. Yeah.
University of Miami.
Oh. I just got an alert on my phone. Apparently, somebody in Kansas City put a Chiefs jersey on the Rocky statue.
Oh no!
Well,
no!
They're done. That's it.
They specifically said don't do that.
Pam.
Yep.
That's right.
Everyone back on the buses. Let's go.
Nobody messes with the Rocky statue.
The terrible towel. You don't do that.
Although, haven't people put Sidney Crosby jerseys on the Rocky statue, and that worked out okay?
I mean, we played them a lot more frequently, but
that's hockey. It's different.
They need better security around the Rocky statue because that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's okay. Now
that's funny.
Eagles by 1 million. I'm changing my.
Let's all change.
My concern is we're not even going to watch the game because they're just going to show Mama Kelsey like 8,000 times.
And Brittany Mahomes.
Like Bobby Bristol's mom.
I mean, they'll probably show Mama Kelsey a lot. I have a feeling she'll get pretty high rotation.
I'm looking to see. I wonder if there is a bet on how many times they'll show Mama Kelsey they'll go to her.
There's a prop bet for that. There's a prop bet for how many times they show her versus her name's escaping me, Patrick Mahomes' wife.
It's Brittany, isn't it?
Thank you, Pam. Yeah, I told Andrew the popular one. I thought it was a good one to bet. The most popular prop bet, Mahomes 250 yards passing over or under. I thought that was kind of interesting. Those Eagles DBs, we haven't even gotten to them yet. I mean, the Eagles defense, run defense is not bad at all, but boy, that pass defense
can't tackle.
That pass defense is outstanding for the Eagles.
They made that defense is amazing. They have an amazing defensive line. They got what? Ndamukong Suh and
Hargrave.
Hargrave and Fletcher Cox. Yeah. And they have this rotation. I think it would be I don't know if the Chiefs do this, but it might be smart for them to just like play hurry up so that these guys don't have time to rotate.
Well, their edge rushers too. Their edge rushers are insane. You got Hassan Reddick, you got Josh Sweat, you got Brandon Graham, all just like kind of rotating in and out, not giving those tackles a chance. So yeah, like I think the statistic was like there were something like 4 or 5 or 6 guys on that defense at 11 plus sacks, which is just an insane number.
Yeah, they have 70 on the year. Yeah, Joe and I on the Steelers wrap up, we talked about, that was, I felt, the glaring need for the Steelers. The depth on defensive line is so poor. And these other teams, even the Bengals, were able to rotate guys in and out on defensive line. And you're exactly right, Andrew. And that's something the Steelers definitely have to address and work on. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, you get a break and here comes Sweat off the bench. And it's like, dear Lord, now I got to deal with this guy who's twice as strong as the other two. Maybe not as quick, but it's a lot. The Eagles' offensive line is going to be asked to do quite a bit on Sunday.
The Steelers need to draft a Cam Hayward. Is he an end?
He's technically a defensive end, yes.
Technically defensive. They need to draft his replacement so that they could have this Mr. Miyagi Karate Kid thing going, where it's like
Jedi and Padawan.
And Padawan, yes.
Well, Hargrave is a free agent after Sunday, but I don't think
the Steelers would love to see him back in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But if he wins the Super Bowl, his price tag is going to be.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
See, I think this is why this is like a 1 year, like perfect situation for the Eagles, because Hargrave is going to make a lot of money. I think a lot of those people they have are like, on just like, the last year of their deals. So we'll see.
That's one of the motivating factors in my mind for the Eagles too. I mean, this is the team, like right now is the team, and they are going to lose people. Like when you talk about Mahomes and you talk about the Chiefs, like that team, they have a couple people they could lose, but in general, that team's going to stay together more. Like you could see them. I don't know. To me, it feels like the Eagles are going to be, if they win, more of a, okay, here we are, and then we'll see again maybe in a few years or later.
Like they did with the last team. No, that's a good
point. Exactly.
Yeah. It's the Super Bowl bump. If you win the Super Bowl, every player on that team is now, hey, we're not getting Javon Hargrave. We're getting Super Bowl champion Javon Hargrave.
Value goes right up.
It's like getting flowers. It's like getting roses on Valentine's Day. Those roses cost $20 any other week of the year, but on Valentine's Day, they're 75 all of a sudden.
Yep.
I was worried about where you're going with that one, Joe. I thought you were talking about leaf flowers, but okay, we'll go with Valentine's Day.
Leaf flower. He did not win any Super Bowls. At least not with the Steelers.
No.
And the other thing is we keep talking about Mahomes. What about Jalen Hurts? This is his time.
Yeah, I love him. He's good.
It's his time. It's like, okay, you had an awesome season. You were almost, if he stayed healthy, he could have been in the running for MVP. Yeah. Now let's see you go. If he has a good game, or even if he wins, because remember, Ben won that first Super Bowl and he had a horrible game, but still he was Super Bowl champion, Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah. So if he wins, that's a huge boost for Jalen Hurts. And by the way, I believe his contract is up too. So he's gonna get paid.
They'll franchise tag him. They'll tag him.
Yeah.
They'll tag him. In that 49ers game, though, even despite the problems that they had, his passing was so on top of. He was, he looked great against that Giants or that 49ers defense. So, he's come to play. I think he's already there, Joe, and I think he's definitely. I think you're right. He's going to be bringing his A game on Sunday, no question about it.
And like you said, Darren, that the defense, the Chiefs defense, you know what? If they don't step up completely, I think Hurts and the Eagles offense is going to run all over them.
The Chiefs defense has to play their best game of the year. This coming Sunday, they have to play their absolute best football. And if they don't, they're going to get beat. That Eagles offense is good.
Yeah, agreed. And you're looking at, they need some turnovers. They need turnovers that result in points. I think if they can force 2 to 3 and get, points off of each one of those in some manner, 13, 14, whatever, but they need turnovers. They need to force it.
Yeah.
The Eagles broke a record for rushing touchdowns. Is it ever or like the first time in I don't know what, but they scored more rushing touchdowns.
I know Jalen Hurts ran for more rushing touchdowns in the regular season and postseason than any other quarterback in history.
like
Yep.
15
Oh,
or
wow.
16 or
Now,
something like that.
Retrospectively, now the Chiefs have only given up 10 rushing touchdowns all season, so it's been a very good goal line defense. But again, they're not seeing this team, and so I think the best team they play with the rest of with the Bills. So I think Chiefs have proven they can handle that, but they haven't proven they've been able to handle it on this level. So, like to Andrew's point, they've got to play their best defense on both sides, on pass and rush. And I think the rush is what's going to kill them eventually. Either first half or second half. At some point, I think the Eagles' rush game is going to do its damage, and that's what's going to be the tail of the tape.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, and we didn't even mention the Eagles wide receivers and their tight end, who's
Dallas Goedert.
not too Dallas Goedert,
Yeah.
AJ
The first
Brown.
time Dallas has been in the Super Bowl for 30 years.
Oh,
Good one. Good one.
I like that.
Stealing that one. Yeah,
Cowboys hates is welcome and encouraged here.
I think Dallas Goedert's a good tight end. I don't think he's Travis Kelce type good, but but yeah, I mean, you're right, Joey. I mean, Hurts has got a decent amount of weapons.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Howie Roseman for the move this offseason to get AJ Brown. That was brilliant beyond what anybody could have predicted. AJ Brown made that offense elite. I think Devontae Smith's a fine receiver, Dallas Goedert, fine tight end, but that offense is not the same if it doesn't have AJ Brown. AJ Brown is what made that offense that good.
Yeah, that Titans offense hasn't been nearly as good.
Well,
that trade destroyed the Titans.
Yeah.
The Devontae Adams trade really ruined the Packers. But an elite wide receiver makes a quarterback so much better,
mm-hmm.
and it just makes everything around him better.
Yeah.
Thank goodness the Ravens aren't smart enough to get a good wide receiver. Although Lamar Jackson can't stay hurt, but so like the Ravens with a good wide receiver, they would be unstoppable.
Well, and I think that's part of the reason that Hurts had such a good year is AJ Brown's a good enough receiver that even Hurts' bad throws, AJ Brown can go up and make look like brilliant ball placement because he just high points the ball because he's 6 foot whatever and like 230 pounds and can bench press a car. Like the dude is huge, and yeah, he can make even the worst throws look good. So I that's why I wanted that was the best offseason move they could have made is going out and pay. And I forget what they traded. They traded some draft picks and something else, and it was a brilliant move. You will very rarely hear me say nice things about Howie Roseman, but
so here's some of the most popular player prop bets, or it's just the game prop bets. Okay, this is like guaranteed money. Travis Kelce to score a touchdown -113. That's
who's not betting.
That's guaranteed money. That's guaranteed money. Travis Kelce first touchdown score +550. Heck, I think that's a pretty good deal too. Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown +112. That's easy money. You know that's gonna happen.
To run it in, or
doesn't even make sense.
Throws one.
I would imagine running it in. Yeah.
I mean, that one's a little. I mean, maybe not 100%, but
I don't know.
To score, period. Yes, he's going to score.
Kelce 2 touchdowns is +460. That's still a pretty good bet. Miles Sanders anytime touchdown +127. I think that's. I don't know if that's a great bet, but still. Yeah. Oh, will Kansas City's first drive be a field goal? That's +410. That's a pretty good one too.
My favorite is which chip brand will premiere their commercial first.
No.
Good one.
Going with Doritos. I mean, come on,
it's not gonna be Lay's.
Bet the house on tails being the coin. The coin will come up tails. They're due.
Wow.
Tails is due. The last 5 times it's been heads 3 times, tails 2 times, and the last 2 times it's been heads 2 times in a row. Tails is due.
I mean, it's whatever the NFL script writers have put down. So
The team that wins the coin toss does not win the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
The
interesting.
last 5 times, who has ever won the coin toss has not won the Super Bowl.
Interesting.
Wow.
I didn't realize
That is
it was that steady a process, but all right. I like the prop bet. What color will Rihanna's hair be for the halftime show?
See, there's there's always the one of how long the national anthem will
be.
And the national anthem singer is some
Chris
country
Stapleton.
guy. Chris Stapleton? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to go long. Yeah,
I could see this being a long one.
See,
I can see Chris doing it.
I don't know who. I don't know. I'm not a country music fan, but a country music singer, I'm guessing, is going to go a little long.
He in particular, I mean, like, he has so many great ballads, but he's like a ballad guy, and I could see him. I can see him doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He now here's a weird one. You could bet on how long he sings the word brave in the national anthem. 5
That's
seconds.
pretty specific.
The over under is 5 seconds. And the home of the brave.
How long he holds that last note?
I'd be more likely to bet on the home and the home, because they like to just
home too. I'll bet you could bet on home too.
I bet you can. I'll have to look
You
for
can bet
that.
on anything in these games. It's hilarious. There's
awesome.
one for a number of hot dogs that will be sold during the course of this game.
Yeah.
You could bet on that.
I forget what Super Bowl it was when the Steelers played the Packers, but there was a prop bet on how many times Tomlin would say obviously in the post-game conference.
I remember that. I do remember that.
Yes. I mean,
Wait, who's calling the game? Who are the announcers for the game? Is it Collinsworth?
Wait, it's on Fox, right?
So probably Joe Buck and
No, it's not Joe Buck. It's Dexter and that dude.
Oh,
Dexter
okay.
and that dude.
Greg Olson and I think Kevin Burkhardt is his name or something like that.
I really like Greg Olson.
Olson is like my least. I actually like it. I like his calling. I was just hoping there was a prop bet for how many times Chris Collinsworth says, "Now here's a guy."
Now here's a guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have terrible news. I don't think Chris Collinsworth is actually that bad.
You know what? Romo's making him look better.
Jimbo!
What?
Shut up, bro. Just shut up, Tony Romo.
Tony. Yeah, I don't like Tony Romo either. But
I didn't used to mind him, but
yeah.
Well, the one thing he was good at was like predicting what was going to happen. He was so good at that, and they told him to stop doing that. Like, bro, you just took away the only good thing he was at. He was good.
the only thing we
Tony
carry
Romo
said.
used that ability to diagnose defenses when he was playing.
Thank you.
Joey, you need to look up some stat for some prop bet having to do with Gronkowski, because there's got to be some good ones with Gronkowski.
The Gronkowski's making a kick
at halftime, right?
Well, I know, but he's everywhere, and he's doing the kick, and he's doing all these commercials. There's got to be some good prop bets with him, because
there's probably something. There's probably something.
There's the old standby. What color Gatorade will be used? What kind of Gatorade? What color?
And you know what?
Yeah.
I have not researched yet, but that's a thing, and I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna.
How is the Chiefs' color not red?
Yeah.
Like that's a basic Gatorade color. How is that
because of blood. It looks like literally they're pouring blood all over you or something. Because I think the one of the Chiefs won. I think it was like orange or something like that.
It was orange the last time. That was one of the things I saw when I looked it up. I was like, how is it orange? Why is it not red? How is the Chiefs Gatorade color always not red?
doesn't even make sense.
You'd think.
I want to know what the prop bets are for like post game, like what Philadelphia does to itself after the game, regardless of win or lose. Just like how many cars are going to be lit on fire, like
greased poles will there be?
They were greased last weekend. They were greased for the championship game. Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia has around.
That is a fact. I was in Philadelphia on the Saturday before the NFC Championship game, and my daughter was pulling up all these different articles, and she's like,
Oh,
"Mom,
yeah.
look at this! Look at this! They're actually greasing the telephone poles." Like, I thought she was kidding, but no,
Oh,
apparently
no.
that's a fact.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Did you
City
see when
Philadelphia don't mess around.
everybody
They know
went
what
through
type
the
of fans they have.
all those people went through the bus stop or whatever that thing
Oh,
is?
the top of the bus stop, yeah,
Yeah.
where they fell through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awful. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not cool.
It's gonna be a fun after party in Philadelphia if anybody wants to come down.
Yeah, we should have a podcast at Andrew's house at about 11:05.
I live
Cornell
far
watches.
enough
How
outside
long
of
will
the
it take
city
us to get
limits.
there?
We'll be fine.
Prop bet on how far it takes us to get there and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who gets there first?
how bad Joe gets ridiculed for wearing a Steeler hat to the Eagles Super Bowl.
Oh,
Because he
I'm
will.
not that dumb. I'm not wearing Steelers. I'm not wearing.
It'll
As long
say
as it's not the
Steagles.
Cowboys, most Eagle fans don't
Eagles.
care.
Yeah, that the what is it? The city is it the city shop that sells the Pittsburgh City tees? And they just came out with a Steagles t-shirt and Steagles hat.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Eagles.
It's so funny when they show it's like, here's what states are rooting for each team. The state of Pennsylvania is rooting for the Eagles. No, we're not. Cut that thing in half. Central and Western PA are not rooting for the Eagles. Maybe some of them are, but a lot of them are not.
That's one
I
of
mean,
my
I went
biggest
to
pet
school-
peeps. It's like two different countries, two different
I went to school up in
hemispheres.
Bloomsburg, and it was definitely more Steelers territory than Eagles territory. Just you get outside of the dome that is Philadelphia, and it's like, yeah, it's mostly Steelers.
Yeah. Well, you get a lot of Giants fans around that area too. So
Yeah,
yep.
I have a buddy, but one of my best friends since I was a kid grew up Jets fan, like just out of nowhere. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Scranton's
you get all
Scranton's
sorts of
like
stuff.
yeah, Scranton's big New York, like Giants, Jets, Yankees.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, huge.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So's Lancaster. My son lives right outside of Lancaster. Lancaster's like that too. Lots of New York teams there too.
And you even said it right, Lancaster, not Lancaster.
Lancaster.
I have to now since my son lives there.
Oh,
Is it Wilkes-Barre or Wilkes-Barre?
Wilkes-Barre.
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 Just Bear.
Bear. Okay.
Yeah.
Wilkes-Barre,
Another one.
Conshohocken. Trust me,
What's
we got
the- what
them
else did
all
you
around
say?
here. Conshohocken.
Conshohocken.
Ooh, bless you.
That one.
Andrew, who would you give the special teams advantage to? Because I think that's a tight one too between these two.
I don't know enough about the Chiefs to know their special teams off the top of my head. I will say this. I've watched more Eagles games this year than I have Chiefs games, and I have yet to see the Eagles punt returner drop one. So I'm going to give the advantage just there because I think that little bit, you were talking about turnovers earlier. I think one of those types of plays, a muffed punt, mishandling of a snap, could just very well be the difference in this game.
Yeah.
Like that's how tight I think it could be. So
Yeah.
That's fair.
I just remember when the Chiefs played the Bengals in the AFC Championship game, and now I know it was very cold at the time. So, and when it's cold, apparently it's much harder to kick a field goal, but still, if it wasn't for that Bengals player pushing Mahomes and giving them that extra 15 yards, most likely he was not going to make that field goal.
I agree, Joe. Butker's a good. He's a good field goal kicker. I think he might be.
He's good, but I don't know. That was
not
just
a 50 because it would have been about 57 yards or 55 yards from there. Yeah.
So
He's 5 for 5 on field goals that are at least 50 yards.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd like to Joe's point though, with it being that cold and that ball's gonna be heavier, and it's just I mean the pressure of doing that. You look at the Ohio State kicker, right? I mean that was that kid was golden, and they couldn't get down on Georgia's defense and asking him to kick a 51-yarder, which he'd made mostly all year, and a championship game like that or Final Four, if you will, just didn't work out for him. Great kid, good field goal kicker, but just didn't work out. And I think Butker would have been in the same boat. You're asking a lot of him in that cold weather to hit from that distance.
will Rihanna show cleavage? Yes is minus 500. No is plus 270.
I mean,
That's a good one.
It's a given. And of course she's.
I was
going
gonna say, I feel like entertainers these days, that's like par for the course.
Here's the
but-
bet. Here's a bet you can make. If the Chiefs win, will Andy Reid be doused in barbecue sauce after the game?
all of my soul wants that to happen.
Yes.
Yes is plus 1,600 and no is minus 15,000.
I derp.
Will they show Bradley Cooper during the Super Bowl?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
that's
There was no chance they were ever not going to do that after he made
how about
playbook.
how about Kevin Hart?
Yes.
Yes.
Probably Joel Embiid too.
Oh, how about Rob McElhaney from Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I kind of hope so, but I hope they
We'll
show
show
Green
all
Man.
of them.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
they show Green Man.
That goes back to John Candy. You know, they're always going to show the guys in the stands.
Yeah.
Hey, is that John
Yeah.
Candy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just go 92 yards and I'll toss it to John Taylor.
Okay, wait. Number of beers sold and the over under is 120,000.
Only
Really?
120,000?
What
Those
during
are-
in the country or during the game? I don't
I think
understand.
at the stadium, but
I
over.
would guess. No, it's at the stadium. It's at the stadium.
Over.
State Farm Stadium
Yeah.
capacity is 63,400. So every person would have to drink 2 beers.
Oh,
I'd say
I'll take the
under.
over. I'm with
Oh,
Andrew.
I'd say under.
Those
Those
are,
beers probably cost like
Philadelphia,
$30
Kansas City are-
each.
Philadelphia and
I think
Kansas
if
City
you're
are
going
two
to the
good
Super
drinking
Bowl-
cities.
Yeah.
You might have to mark that one down, Joe. I'll say yeah. What the rest of you guys say?
I mean, man, I'm just
I'm
just
taking the over on that one.
you
Yeah.
think?
way over.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
under on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gatorade color, orange is plus 200, clear or water is plus 300, green or
Wow.
yellow is plus 300, red plus 750, blue plus 450, and purple plus 800. So orange is the favorite.
I'm a big purple guy.
But I
I can
mean,
see
if
that.
it's the Eagles, it has to be green, right?
Why is orange the favorite? That's like the worst color of Gatorade.
It's the best
Mm.
flavor though.
Boo.
Maybe it shows up best on the TV broadcast. Somebody
There
did a
you go.
study
There
and
you
they decided that's the best color for TV.
Seriously,
go.
I think it has a lot to do with it.
It could.
You could make a bet on how many times the chains will be used for measurement. And it's over and under. The over under is 1.5. I would take the over on that.
I'd take the
I
over.
would too. Yeah, I'd say over on that.
Yeah,
I mean,
You
that's a good
could
one.
bet on a doink.
Oh,
If you
if the kicker doinks it off the
If
off
a
the post,
kicker doinks it off the crossbar, yes is plus 330, no is minus 500.
does it have to be the crossbar or can it be the upright ones? Can he like doink it off like the left or right?
Upright or crossbar?
Upright or crossbar? Yeah.
I'm gonna say
I'd
no.
take-
I'm
Yeah,
gonna say no.
I take the under on that. I'm with you, Joe.
I mean, it rarely happens.
What's the over under on that?
Yes is plus 330, no is minus 500.
Yeah, I'd probably say no.
Who
yeah.
will
Gotta
the
do the under.
Super Bowl MVP of the game thank first?
God,
Teammates is 3-2. The coach is 12-1. Family's 12-1. God 3-1. Of course, God's the favorite.
I was gonna say,
Wasn't that
it's
great when
always the
Mahomes
first
was
one.
when Mahomes was thanking God in the NFC Championship game and Kelsey comes up and just starts he's I want to thank God, my Lord and Savior, and all the grace. And here comes Travis Kelsey, the mayor of Cincinnati's a total jackass. And like they're like Mahomes like, yeah, this was supposed to be a faithful moment.
This is practically having Catholic mass out there. And Kelsey's like,
Yeah.
Right.
"Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
The body of Christ. Wait, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
All right, which Kelsey brother would you rather see win though? Do you want Travis to get another one, or do you want Kelsey to get or Jason to get another one?
Man, they're both so likable.
Yeah.
Gotta go with Jason.
Oh, okay. Batman.
I go with
Man,
Travis.
yeah.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew the over under and how many times they're going to show Mama Kelsey because I would guess 10.
Whatever it is, bet the over.
I would.
It depends on where she is. It depends on where she is.
She's gonna
Oh,
be
they'll
a
find
box
her.
of glory.
If they strategically put her somewhere where it's like pan over, I think it's way more than 10.
No, it's going to be basically. I mean, what the Eagles, Kelsey, he's just an offensive lineman, right? He's not going to do anything. But Travis Kelsey, he's probably going to have a monster game. So every time he makes a catch, they're going to show her. If he scores a touchdown, it's going to be all. It's just going to be. There's just going to be a Mama Kelsey cam. It's just going to be.
Yeah, probably.
That's-
You're probably not wrong.
That could be floating at like 4 or 5 until you get to the fourth quarter. If that game's close, they're going to be panning on her every other minute, and you'll make up that 10 real quick if it's a close game in the fourth
True.
quarter.
It's true.
Yeah.
There's a universe out there where TJ Watt's Steelers are playing JJ Watt's Arizona Cardinals in the Super Bowl, and Mama Watt, and well, I guess Derek Watt would be on the field too. Mama Watt, they'll show her like a million times.
They just keep
Yep.
Derek around for spare parts.
That's correct, Derek. Poor
Derek.
Poor
I
Derek.
love the man, but like
Poor Derek only made like 3.5 million. Like, gee,
I
Yeah,
know, poor
darn.
baby. bro. Sorry, my dog is bumping my phone.
the important thing is what food are you getting for the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm
Oof.
going to a party, so
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say my
Yeah.
food's not gonna. My dad's making chicken enchiladas.
Okay.
Dinner at Andrews.
Chicken enchiladas here with homemade guac.
Ooh.
I got you, Andrew. Yeah.
I think
sounds
I think
delightful.
I'm making
Dinner at
homemade.
Darren's.
I think I'm making a homemade buffalo chicken dip.
Ooh.
Nice.
We get like about 6 different things, like mozzarella sticks, wings, maybe corn dogs. Ooh, corn dogs would be fun. All kinds of things like that. Hi, doggy.
Oh, hi, baby. Oh,
Decided
where's
to
my
come say
cat?
hello.
Oh, look at
What
the
a cutie.
bow. Where, hi, baby.
Where's my
I was gonna say,
Sophie?
where's Sophie?
on
Where
here.
is Sophie?
All right, Derp. All right.
Say hi
Okay.
to
My
Joe and
cat,
Pam.
named Heath Miller, is nowhere to be found. So,
Named Heath Miller.
yeah, that's his name. His name is Heath Miller.
Andrew, what's your dog's name?
This is Pearl. Also, we also call her Derp because she doesn't really know how to control her thoughts.
Pearl is okay. Darren, what's your dog's name?
Ewok.
Oh, nice. I love it.
Nice.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much. This was fun.
This is so
Yeah.
much fun.
It was.
Let's just we didn't even talk. You know what? The commercials used to be as big as a thing, and now it's like the commercials are just who cares?
They've been, yeah. I feel like probably when all of us were, in our younger days, it seemed like every one of them was great. The Bud Bowl, you had so much great stuff going on, but now it's so hit or miss. Like they'll show 7 and probably one's pretty good or one's great, and then the rest are just so blah.
Yeah, I mean,
the commercial game's gone way down.
I agree. I mean, you remember? Doesn't everybody remember like the Bud Light Clydesdales? Yeah, but do you remember last year's commercials? No,
No.
I don't.
They were all crypto. Remember that was the crypto.
The best one for me last year was the one where, and I actually, it's the funny thing is I forget I know they were advertising a vehicle, was Meadow Soprano driving like the new Suburban or whatever it was. And they had
Yes,
the
that's right.
Soprano music. I'm like,
And the
oh
music.
my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that was insane. That's one I remember from last year.
Apparently,
That was a
there's
good
some Breaking Bad reunion this year or something like that. I don't even know what the commercials are.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, you can now see all the commercials ahead of time, so it's like it kind of ruins it.
See, and I
Aw.
wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it.
I don't even want to watch. I don't.
No,
Yeah, I don't want to
yeah, I
watch
don't
them
wanna
ahead of
watch
time.
those.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for some good movie trailers. Like we'll probably
I
get a
love
new
movie
Ant-Man and the
trailers.
Wasp.
Ant-Man probably. Yeah.
Probably the new Mario Brothers and
Yeah.
trying to think of the other big sequel coming out, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
do
about
like movie
scores?
trailers.
movie ones? But
Do
I
we
want
have-
them to
we can-
bring back the Bud Ice Penguin. I don't know if anybody
Oh.
else remembers that.
Doobie
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 doo.
doo.
Yes.
You were
I
I
want
there.
have
them to
that
bring
thing
back the Bud
somewhere.
Ice Penguin.
Oh yeah. Well, you want to do a score prediction? I'm gonna say Chiefs 33-30.
Ooh.
Pam.
Really, Chiefs 33-30?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going 31-27 Eagles.
All right, Darren.
I'll go classic. I'll go Eagles 35, Chiefs 31.
Ooh,
Dang.
like the Steelers Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Andrew.
I don't like going last. I'm gonna say Eagles 35, Chiefs 28.
We're all similar. Just
Yeah.
Joey
I think it's
picked
gonna
the
be
wrong
high
team.
scoring. I think these offenses are too good to not be high scoring.
I agree.
Yeah.
What the over under is like 51 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
They're gonna destroy that.
I agree, Joe.
gonna be.
They're gonna clobber that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
So much
Thanks,
fun.
Joe.
Everybody
Go,
have a good night.
Thank you.
go football.
Go
See
See you guys. Good night.